All right, everyone. Hi, good morning. Victoria Waco, Mrs. New York American 2024, and huge WWE fan. I'm getting ready to go work out, but real quick, we need to talk about what happened on Smackdown last night ahead of Worlds Collide and, of course, Money in the Bank tonight. So the show won again. I feel like I say this all the time. It's a rough 3 hours. We need this to go down to 2 hours. I just think it's a lot of time to fill, and they're struggling with that. Some of the highlights from me on this show last night. Of course, we had a lot of just like packages and build up, and like I love seeing so many of the main players on one show. I know why they do the brand split. I know why they try to keep people on certain ones, but it is really cool when we get to see everyone on one show, at least to me personally. So we had a great thing with Paul and Seth to start off the show. We had a little build up about the multiple matches. There was a great behind the scenes moment with Damian Priest about the US belt with Jacob Fatu after you had, once again, we had a match, and at this point, like, just make them fall apart and give us what we want, because like this teasing of Fatu turning on Solo has taken so long. I'm like, can we just get there? I will say too, though, during that match, I looked at my husband, I said, I'm a little worried for Jimmy. That being because, as we know, all these releases are happening. I feel like Jay has skyrocketed, and I'm concerned with how TKO seems to be thinking about talent, that they won't see Jimmy's value to this company, and thinking one Uso would be enough. So that is one of the things. A lot through the show, I was either like, why didn't they just get rid of him or her? And a lot of like, if they're really thinking this, I'm a little concerned. That will bring us to the LA Knight match with Aleister Black, which was a great match. They're both great in the ring, but again, I had moments where like I think a lot of us think Seth's winning Money in the Bank, and there's like a tiny part of me that like wants LA Knight to win it, because I do still like him so much. And again, he's older, he's a mid-carder. Is he worth what they're paying him in the eyes of TKO, that don't understand the need for you need people on all the levels that the fans love. So that was kind of my thought. Interesting thing too, though, because I'm very confused if Aleister Black is a babyface or a heel. Like, he's very ambiguous, and I'm still a little confused by him. But great in-ring talent. His wife was on the show earlier, Zelina Vega, in a match. My husband made a comment, and I can't help but agree with him, which he's like, I'm kind of tired of her fighting these three women over and over again. I feel like there are other women on this roster that they could be building more into, and like, I don't know. I just feel like, again, there needs to be some more build there. My other notes from the night, the Damian Priest, he got a really big pop too. I think like a lot of people keep saying people are over Damian Priest. I don't really agree with that. I think he still has a lot of miles left in the tank. With that said, the one thing, I mean, the photos alone that Rhea posted, like, I miss the Terror Twins. I think they could have had so much longevity as a duo, just dominating and like causing mayhem, that I am still to this day very bummed that they split up Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley as quickly as they did, because again, I just think there's so much you could have done with them. And I think it just like, yeah, I think they're such a beautiful package together. And look, they just look fabulous together. And they're such good friends, and you can see the chemistry in them of that like love and adoration and like pride for each other when they're together. And I just kind of adore that and wish we got to see more of that on screen. They had the 6-woman event. Also interesting, like there was this weird thing with Selena after her match in the run-in, and I'm just like, okay, I don't get that. I'm also not, I feel like everyone loves Julia very much, and I'm just not sold on her yet. So maybe that's a thing. The 6-woman, first of all, I feel like this needs to be addressed. I think everyone's addressing it. Like, what happened with Roxanne in real life is not okay, and that's creepy and scary, and no, like, just no. Okay. just mortified that we keep still having to talk about these problems with pro wrestlers and especially female wrestlers. It's just not okay. Not okay. Um, of course, though, then we had the six-way. Rhea, amazing. Alexa Bliss, I adore her. It was a weird, awkward opening though to that match because like first Tiffany comes out, which was like I don't understand. Like she had that backstage thing with Charlotte, but I I just didn't get why she needed to be in the ring and talk. Like it felt odd to me. It felt like disjointed because then you had Rhea come out and they had this moment and I feel like either Rhea had to hit her or she had to run away from Rhea because her still being in the ring when they then started the entrance for I believe Alexa came out. No, Stephanie. Stephanie came out next. It was just awkward and weird and didn't make sense to me personally. The match itself was great. The crowd loves Rhea Ripley. We all know that. They love Stephanie. It's going to be interesting. And I just love Alexa Bliss. And I need a Lily doll. Like someone, I need to buy that doll. It's just expensive. But yeah, so great match. I enjoyed that match. I'm excited for that Money in the Bank match. This show did a good job of helping me kind of have a little bit more enthusiasm for Money in the Bank. Because quite honestly, like on Monday night, I almost was like, oh shoot, yeah, that's this weekend. Like it was so back in my mind. We've had so many other things, and the fact that we have Worlds Collide and that on this, it's just a lot, and they're packing these big events too close, too many together, and they're losing how special they are because of that, in my opinion. And even my husband's like another, he was excited for Saturday night's main event, but even that, like after Backlash, he's kind of like, he's getting fatigued in watching. So I think, I think it's a similar feel. Tell me if you're feeling the same way in the comments. All right, the last thing, of course, that happened was the face down with John Cena, Cody, Jay, and Logan Paul. Of course, that's the main event for Money in the Bank. We started, though, again with Paul in the ring with his, do we have a name yet for them? We need a name for them. This was very interesting. And the interesting part to me was the fact that I think people caught it, Seth was in Cody's ear. And so I feel like, again, they are kind of hinting at a possible heel turn of Cody. I don't think it's necessary. I think we have enough heels right now in the main event picture. I just don't think it's necessary. And I do adore Cody, and I want to just adore Cody, okay? I just want to be happy and love Cody, okay? Let me have this moment. Of course, Jay and Cody get totally annihilated by Cena and Logan Paul. The best part of this, though, the moment with Seth Rollins and Cody absolutely was interesting. But then, of course, everyone is chanting, as they did throughout the night, that we want truth. And John then turns that on the crowd. And I can't help but think that whole promo had a double meaning. One, it was heel Cena taking the crowd, what they're saying, and flipping it back on them and throwing it back on them. But I think John's very, very smart. And I think from what we've heard, that John did not want R-Truth to be fired. He was hoping that main event at Saturday night's main event was going to save his job and help them see his value. So I think, because as he kept saying you are Truth, it made the crowd chant it even louder for Truth. That I think that was also kind of a little dig at TKO. At least I'm probably reading way too much into this, but in my mind, I want to believe that's true, and that he was trying to say you made a mistake. We need R-Truth. So yeah, I'm probably reading way too much into that. That's okay. Let me know your thoughts. Let's talk in the comments. And are you ready for Money in the Bank tonight? Boop, boop, boop. Let's see what happens.